checked out the expert handicappers at Sports Memo? If not, here's your chance. Right now, you can get as many handicappers as you want for the next 7 days for only $7 each per day. Even better, if you're a first-time customer, we'll credit you back $25 in wager bucks after you make your purchase. All you have to do to redeem this limited time offer is go to sportsmemo.com, choose your handicapper of your choice, use coupon code SM49 at checkout, and repeat as many times as you want until Monday Night Football kicks off.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Stoppage Time. This is the Europa League knockout stage edition. We're going to cover 4 games or 4 matchups in the Europa League. We're going to tell you who we think will move on out of that knockout stage. We also have a couple features on today's, a couple free plays, a couple segment plays, and we're going to talk about a contest and some promos. So we're going to get right to it. I'm going to bring in a couple of guys. Nick Borman is away today. Nick is skiing somewhere. So let's just hope he makes it back in one piece for next Tuesday's show. But with me are from Sports Memo, Pavlos Laguretos, and from WagerTalk, none other than the Irishman, Kevin Dolan. Kev, let me go to you first. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, good, Carmine. We had a fantastic weekend. I believe we were profit leader on Saturday and Sunday because we had San Francisco. Really loved that play, and I must have been the only one on the planet who had San Francisco plus the points. Yesterday, though, had the under 46, which obviously ticked over 47. But yeah, no complaints my end. It's been a terrific end of the month.
Yeah, I think you were the only guy on... excuse me. I think you were the only guy on San Fran in that game. A lot of people loved Arizona, steamed that play up. I was a little worried about that game myself, but more from a fantasy football point of view, because I was in the finals and I had Kyler Murray. He didn't put up a lot of fantasy points, but after last night's game, I won our league. So I got some cash coming to me, which is always a great thing. And I'm pretty happy about it. And I'm on a 12-4 NFL run as well, too. So I'm pretty happy about that, too. And, of course, I'm a Bills fan. And if you watched that game last night, people, I know it's a soccer show, the Buffalo Bills, they're looking like a team full of confidence and a team that could go far in these NFL playoffs. But back to soccer, Sports Memos, Pavlos Laguretos, tell us what's going on, my friend.
Doing great. You know me, I love my props. I've been dealing with soccer props for, the entire season. As someone mentioned, we won the prop on last week's show with Milan, both teams to score. It's been a great weekend, also with NBA props. So we're looking to keep it going today.
All right, that's what I want to hear. Keep winning, my friends. Welcome to the guys in the chat. I will get to you guys soon. I'm just going to let you know what we're doing today as far as games. We're going to cover 4 of the matchups in Europa League. I wanted to cover, obviously, the 3 EPL sides. Those are the most popular ones. So we're going to look at Benfica, Arsenal. We're going to look at Man United, Real Sociedad. We're going to look at Tottenham and Wolfsburger. And then I threw one more in just because the last one seems like a layup. So we added Ajax and Lille to the schedule. And we're going to have 4 of them that we're going to look at. Let's go to the very first one. Right off the bat. And I'm going to go to Kev first on this one, but this is Arsenal and Benfica. The current odds, and these are the odds to advance after both legs have been played. Arsenal are minus 225, Benfica's plus 162. Kev, I look at this and, this Benfica side, again, they're battling for the Premier League title in Portugal, which they do each and every year. Finished second to Rangers in that group, but did not lose a game, going 3-0-3. No real history against this Arsenal side. And you look at Arsenal, and here's a team that's struggling immensely in league play this season. They win a perfect 6-0 in group stage play. And possibly they've turned the corner with a 3-1 win on the weekend against Chelsea. they're not qualifying for Champions League in the EPL. That's just not going to happen. They're not finishing top 4. So this might be their only chance of getting into Champions League next year in winning this tournament. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, it is a difficult tie to predict this far out, simply because of all the uncertainty surrounding Arteta's position at the club. Even with that win over Chelsea, he's still the favourite to get fired next. So we just simply don't know if he's going to be here in February. I do feel, though, that if it was betting this tie, I would still take Arsenal to advance because, you know, they are the better team here. And either Arteta starts adapting his tactics better, or we see that new manager bounce, you know, for a potential manager coming in February. In fairness to Arteta, for weeks and weeks and weeks, we've seen him continually put out the same starting 11, notching up loss after loss, even after they were followed up by fantastic performances in the Europa League, you know, which you mentioned, 6 from 6. So, and that was generally their backup squad. You know, that so-called Arsenal backup squad notched, you know, as we had 6 from 6, they scored an average of 3.33 goals per game. And instead of keeping those guys rolling, Arteta would often revert back to looking at his player evaluation sheet or whatever it was he was looking at, you know, and start that same tired old stars that got him into trouble in the first place. However, you know, we've seen against Chelsea, we're finally seeing some movement from him in this area. You know, there's young guys like Holding, Martinelli, Rowe, Willock, Nketiah, and so on, finally getting a lot of game time, you know, and delivering ahead of the more established players like Xhaka, Mustafi, Lacazette, and so on. There should be no automatic placements on this Arsenal squad, you know, and Arteta needs to stick with the guys getting him the results, not the, you know, the guys with the biggest valuation. Either way, I do think Arsenal's still the play here as they have the far greater talent pool. Benfica, you know, had 3 fairly pedestrian draws against Rangers and Standard Liège in their Europa League group campaign. They haven't looked overly impressive in a fairly weak Portuguese league either. You know, this season they got smashed 3-0 by Boa Vista earlier last month, for example. You know, if Arteta gets his tactics together, Arsenal will win this tie. And if a new manager comes in, as we said, gives this team a lift, similar to what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did in Paris, in one of his first games in charge in Europe, Arsenal likely win this tie as well. So, you know, at odds of minus 225 to advance, I'm not going to run to the window to bet this, but Arsenal is definitely the side I'd be on here.
Yeah, I'd have to believe the same as well. You know, the thing, before I throw it to Pavlos here, is you look at managers and, you know, a guy like Arteta, I'm not going to say high profile, but, you know, he came in, seemingly turned the side around. They played extremely well at the end of last season's EPL, you know, won the FA Cup. They're happy about, you know, something in the trophy case, but they're just struggling right now. And you look at, you know, similar to the amount of talent that is at Chelsea with Frank Lampard, and that's a team that's struggling as well too. You know, you would have thought Mauricio Pochettino was sitting in the wings waiting for one of these EPL jobs to open up, but he's on his way to PSG now, and now you've got Thomas Tuchel, who is who's soon to be out of a job, and probably heading to the EPL to manage a side. I'm not sure who it will be, but Pavlos, you know, you look at this one, minus 225. Obviously, Arsenal are favored. They have the advantage of playing League 2 at home. It's always the most important thing to have that advantage. Any chance Benfica at 162 can spring the upset here?
Well, if the matchup was played at this point in time, where Benfica are much better than Arsenal, I would say yes. But this matchup is going to be played in mid-February, where, as you said, Kevin, they might have a new manager. I hear around the soccer forums that they want Christian Eriksen from Inter, so they might add a creative midfielder in their ranks. Looking at their schedule up until that moment, they play against fairly weak teams, against Brighton, West Brom, Newcastle twice, Crystal Palace, Southampton. They only have just one tough match against Manchester United. So I don't think that they'll keep on sucking as much as they do right now. I think that they'll find their groove at some point. The thing is that with Arsenal, they've played really well in the Europa League. As you said, Carmine, they probably won't get a Champions League ticket from the league play, so they'll go all in to capture the Europa League and get that wild card. So they scored a lot. They scored 20 goals in the group stage. They scored 2 or more goals in all 6 matches. And with the first match being played in Portugal, I expect them to score and get an advantage ahead of the second leg in London. So, yeah, the price is not great. Does not look great right now. But, yeah, I think Arsenal will get the job done.
Yeah, and we'll or I'll circle back to this later on in that 225 price and how we can possibly bring that down, in an advanced parlay type of thing where you take 2 or 3 teams, kind of like what I did with group stage winners in the first round of the Champions League, and you can get a nice little rate of return on that if they hit. I'll circle back to that. But I want to go to Kev next on free play segment. I call this one Total Recall with Kevin Dolan. Kev, you've got an EPL game here. I'm going to throw this one to you and let us know what you got and give the guys a free play, please.
Yeah, this is a play I'm on personally tonight. Actually makes up one of my 7-game pack. Now a 6-game pack. 1 game got postponed. But it's a spot I really like here on Tuesday. It's the over between Leeds and West Brom in tonight's English Premier League clash. Both of these teams have the worst goals allowed record in the league currently, with both giving up full 2 goals per game on average this season. This increases even further on their home and away form, as Leeds are the worst goals allowed team in the league on the road this season, giving up on average of 2.43 goals per game. And West Brom are the worst goals allowed team at home this year, giving up 2.14 goals per game on average. Those numbers, unsurprisingly, are equally poor in terms of expected goals data as well. Both teams ranking last and second last respectively in expected goals against data, but Leeds do rank 5th in expected goals for. To put up a pretty impressive 1.75 expected goals per game this year. We're getting a lower total than normal in this one because of recent results and also Sam Allardyce's appointment as West Brom manager. He brings a defence-first oriented, approach to his games. He likes it old school. He sets up with, 2 banks of 4 from the back. He looks to grind out results. And we've seen that against Liverpool at Anfield at the weekend, and we've seen how effective that can be and, in terms of stifling opposing offences. But even so, we know how this Leeds team likes to set up. Bielsa has this team humming on all cylinders from a defensive standpoint this season. Patrick Bamford recently came out in midweek declaring his intention to win the Golden Boot this year. And Leeds have a phenomenal record against Sam Allardyce, despite his defensive tactics. Sam Allardyce managed clubs have conceded 2 or more goals in 3 of their last 4 meetings, against Leeds. So I like the over 2.75 here between Leeds and West Brom. I expect at least 3 goals. So that'll be your total recall play for Tuesday.
Awesome. That is Kevin Dolan of WagerTalk.com. Kevin's on a 47-23-2, which is 67.1% run with his last 72 all sports sides. That's a 77.09 bankroll gain since the end of October. It's an absolutely great run, which leads me to this promo. I am going to make I've made Kevin the featured capper on the show. You can get 30 days all access of Kevin's plays for only $199. That's $150 off the regular price of $349 when you use the coupon code KEV30 at checkout. So that's $199. And let me tell you what you're going to get with those if you buy that 30-day package, because Kev does NCAA football. There's still 17 bowl games, which includes obviously the championship game left. Obviously, soccer across all Europe's leagues. NFL playoffs are ahead. Boxing. He absolutely kills it in boxing. And there's a big card coming up in Texas, or a very good card on January the 2nd, the Garcia Campbell one for the WBC lightweight title. So I'm pretty sure he's going to have plays on that card. NBA, CBB, and rugby, where he's killing it, 35% bankroll gain there as well too. So the man does pretty much everything. He's like the Greek, just that he's from Ireland. So that would make him the Eek, but something like that. Anyways, get 30 days all access for $199. Use KEV30 at checkout. Guys, take advantage of this one. He puts in a ton of work at WagerTalk and for this show. Let's show him a little bit of love. All right. With that said, we are going to head over to the next matchup. Real Sociedad, Man United. Real Sociedad plus 200 to advance. Man United minus 275. Pavlos, I'm going to go to you first on this one, as I like to do with a lot of these Spanish ones. But, I look at Sociedad, and they had a fantastic start to the La Liga season. They're sitting on top for the longest time. But now they've gone winless in their last 6 La Liga games, going 0-3-3. They finished second to Napoli in the group. And they have that disadvantage of they have to play the first game at home and then head to England, to Old Trafford to face United in Leg 2. We know about United. They crashed out of Europa League Champions League on match day 6, losing in Germany to Leipzig. They don't want to be in this competition. They'd rather still be in Champions League, and they got a wealth of talent and are one of the clear favorites to win this competition again and make it into Champions League if they don't finish top 4 in the EPL. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Well, yeah, as you said, Real Sociedad, they started the season in a pretty strong manner, but across all competitions, they've won none of their last 11 matches. They have 3 draws, 3 losses and 7 draws. So that is partly because they've been dealing with the Europa League as well as the La Liga, which is always an extra strain on the players. Moreover, they had a lot of injuries, and right now they have 6 or 7 injured players, but by the time this game will be played, it's unsure how many of them will be back. So they have the disadvantage, as you said, of playing the first leg at home, and Manchester United have been killing it on the road this season. They have a 10-2-1 record on the road across all competitions. They've been firing in all cylinders. They have 2 or more goals in 12 of those 13 matches. So I expect them to at least score at least once in Spain in the first leg and take a huge advantage for the second leg at home. So Real Sociedad, they might get some players back, which should help them in their quest for the Europa League. But I think that Manchester United have the extra talent that will push them through in this tie. Now the thing is that Real Sociedad, they like the unders. They had like only 1 over in 6 matches in the group stage, while Manchester United had 6 over 2.5 goals. So if it does come down to that, Manchester United have the extra firepower up front to outplay the Spanish side here. So yeah, I don't really like the odds, but it's a solid at minus 275, I think, for them to progress to the next stage.
All right, I like it. And before I go to Kev on this one, just to answer a couple of questions, Trevor in chat is asking us why we're covering games are being played 45 days from now. By the time the Europa League rolls around, Champions League is in full gear. There's a ton of European plays going on. And with only 8 games right now in EPL going on, if we cover 4 of them and then give you 4 free plays, this is a show that also takes you back to WagerTalk and Sports Memo, because these are guys that are selling, have packages and plays up. So you have to, it stands to figure with fewer games, we're gonna feature games on this show, for competitions that are coming up. So there are free plays on the show, but it's something that I want to do. So, and that's what we're going to do. TJ, welcome to the chat. I know you talked about COVID. That's one of the things that I discussed before we went to air is, 19 positive tests between players and mainly staff in England again. Obviously, the Everton Man City game was canceled due to COVID. Some games in League 1 and League 2 have been canceled because of it. We're hoping that this isn't another wave coming through. But as it was mentioned to me, with the vaccines coming up, hopefully a lot of them are making their way after the healthcare workers to some of these sports organizations and communities to keep this going, because we need something to watch. But this is why we're covering Europa League now, because we're not going to have a chance to cover it later with Champions League taking over for us. Kev, Man United, is this a slam dunk?
I pretty much agree with everything Pavlos said, but I can't help but laugh at Man United, how they find themselves in these positions. I mean, it's just absolute madness how they find themselves, in the Europa League after beating PSG on the road in the opening game and then smashing RB Leipzig 5-0, and now they're in the Europa League, and it just shows you what life is like under this Ole Gunnar Solskjaer team. It goes like from the sublime to the ridiculous overnight. But as I said, I agree with Pavlos. I still like United here. Real Sociedad got off to that amazing start in La Liga. They were sitting top. They lost just once in 13 games. But since then, they've actually, they've lost 3 straight games. They're winless in 6 now. And I definitely think that David Silva effect has worn off for this team. The bigger worry for Real Sociedad heading into this one, though, is, the fact that they're continually coming up short against the more established clubs in La Liga this season. Blowout wins against Huesca and Getafe are all well and good, but Sociedad have simply failed to get the job done against the bigger clubs like Atletico and Barcelona this season, and Manchester United definitely qualify as a bigger club. And even, to be honest, Sociedad's Europa League form wasn't particularly impressive either. 2 wins from 6 in their group, draws against AZ Alkmaar and Rijeka as well. So I just don't see them having anywhere near enough to overturn Manchester United here. So, give me Manchester United minus 275 to advance in what could be a decent parlay with them and Arsenal coming in at minus 105. So, Manchester United for me.
All right, Kevin Dolan of WagerTalk.com. Guys, it is $2 Tuesday at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. This is where you can get one of our featured cappers at each site and get one of their best bets on their card for only $2. Those packages are usually priced at $25 or $40, depending on whether it is a 5% play or 4% play. At WagerTalk today, the featured capper is none other than Tony Finn. This man absolutely kills it each and every year at WagerTalk, especially in the NFL. So he's got a play up. You can get it for only $2. And at Sports Memo, it is Kevin Broadus. Hopefully I haven't butchered his name. Kevin is one of the new guys to the WagerTalk and Sports Memo family, so you can get his play for only $2 at Sports Memo. As you'll also see on the screen, we're scrolling. We still have our January $99 special up. You can get the whole month of January from your favorite capper for only $99. That includes all 5% plays that are regularly priced at $40. This package normally sells for $199. So head over to WagerTalk and Sports Memo and pick that up, and we'll give you the rest of December for free. There's still a few days left in that. All right, I'm going to go to Pavlos before we hit that third game. I'm going to go to Pavlos for Props with Pavlos free play segment. We're heading to La Liga for this one, Pavlos. Tell us what you got.
Yeah, we got Atletico Madrid, who are doing an excellent job in the La Liga this season, who are hosting Getafe. So Atletico Madrid, they're having an excellent season. After 13 matches, they're sitting at the top with 32 points. They are tied with Real Madrid below them, but Real Madrid have played 2 more matches. So if they win their 2 extra matches, they'll be 6 points ahead of Real Madrid. They have the second best offense with 26 goals and by far the best defense with just 5 conceded goals. They've conceded 5 goals in 13 matches, which is just excellent. I'm not very surprised because they're coached by Simeone, who is just a great defensive-minded coach. So in this matchup, they're taking on Getafe, who are sitting at the 12th spot of the league. They have the let me see that. They have the second worst offense with just 12 goals so far, and the 5th best defense with 15 goals. If you look at Atletico Madrid at home, they've only conceded 2 goals. And Getafe on the road, they've only scored 4 goals in 6 matches. So this is really a one-sided match. I expect Atletico Madrid to dominate Getafe. I don't expect a high-scoring match. If you look historically, the head-to-head between these 2 matches, Atletico Madrid have won each of the last 12 matches against Getafe. And 11 of those were under 2.5 goals. So if you look at the the matches between the 2 sides, 4 of the last 11 were had an exact score of 1-0, and I'm sorry, I have a lot of numbers here, and 7 of the last 11 was a 2-0 correct score. So Atletico Madrid, they beat Getafe no matter where they play, at home or away. They don't concede goals. They have 25-0 in the last 11 matches, which means that they've scored 25 goals and they have conceded none. So looking at the odds here, I'm picking Atletico Madrid to win combined with the under 3.5 goals, which goes at -120. Atletico Madrid to win and under 3.5 goals. Getafe on the road, they failed to score in 4 of their 6 matches, while Atletico Madrid have only conceded in 2 of their 7 home matches. So I expect another Atletico Madrid confident win. I don't expect them to destroy their opponents. I expect like a 1-0, 2-0 correct score. 1-0 goes at +350, 2-0 goes at +450. So yeah, the main play here is Atletico Madrid to win and combined with the under 3.5 goals.
All right, that's Pavlos Laguretos of Sports Memo. 63.5% bankroll gain since the beginning of November. He's absolutely killing it as well too. With regards to that game, I saw an interesting tweet yesterday from Gaming Today's Rob Meach, who talked about this, and he said, and this was the post: the home side has slapped Getafe around, going 15-0-3. Against them, their past 18 meetings in all competitions, 18 clean sheets. They've outscored them 33-0 in those games, their goal differential. So this is one of those games where Atletico Madrid seems to lay over this Getafe side each and every time they meet. All right, we're going to head over to the next game as we speed along here. Wolfsburger and Tottenham. Austrian side sort of surprised me. They came out of their group finishing second to Dynamo Kiev. The current odds here, obviously, completely slanted in the Spurs' favor. Spurs are -1,400 to win. Wolfsburger are +800. Kev, I'm going to go to you first on this one. We know the Spurs. Positive start to the season. They've sort of hit the skids the last little while. Mourinho's not very happy. The congested schedule is getting to this team. They've got a good start to January when I looked at their schedule, but then they hit a patch just before these Europa League ties where they've got to play Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City. Those aren't the 3 easiest games prior to heading into a Europa League game against Wolfsburger.
Yeah, but I mean, even so, look, this is absolute 100%, it's a cast iron slam dunk. Tottenham will advance here. This is an absolute gimme. If you had a house, there you go, stick it on. Because, Tottenham were an autopilot throughout that entire group stage of the Europa League competition. They focused primarily on maintaining that position in the Premier League. They were sitting on top for a while. And even then, they still ended up smashing LASK Linz 3-0 at home. A Linz team currently sitting a full 8 points ahead of Wolfsburg in the Austrian Bundesliga this season. And speaking of the Austrian Bundesliga, Wolfsburg are rock bottom on home form this season with just 1 win from 5 and a -4 goal differential. So for me, this would absolutely 100% be the shock of the entire round of 32 if Wolfsburger were to knock out Tottenham here. We all know how I like Tottenham, though, so I'm slightly biased just in terms of me picking them outright for the Premier League. But I'm not going to make this any more complicated than it needs to be. Spurs are simply too strong here. Give me Tottenham -1,400. Obviously unbettable at the current number. But if you tie that into the Manchester United Arsenal parlay we mentioned earlier, it bounces us up to a nice +111 price. So that's definitely the way I go in this one.
Yeah, I was just about to say, as you put those 3 together, are you looking at my computer? Because I actually just calculated that out as well too, and it comes out to 111.04. So yeah, you're now getting almost 6 to 5 on your money with 3 teams that essentially could be slam dunks here. Pavlos, slam dunk?
Yeah, definitely. Tottenham are playing Manchester City in their one match previous to this match, so it's a venue where they traditionally struggle with 1 win in their last 11 matches. So they'll probably be ready for the first tie of this Europa League matchup. As Kevin said, Wolfsburger are just terrible at home. They have only kept 2 clean sheets in 10 home matches, and Tottenham just have, even if they use their bench players, which they probably will, they'll probably destroy their defense, Wolfsburger's defense. So yeah, I think Tottenham will just get the job done from the first leg. There's nothing more to say about it. They've been great on the road. They started with 7 wins and 1 loss in the season across all competitions, but they struggle a bit lately with just 1 win in the last 6 matches in all competitions. But when the time comes for this match, I think they'll be much better and they'll be ready. Coach Mourinho is just a really talented coach, and he'll have his players ready for this match.
All right, love it. Before we go to the Lille Ajax game, I'm going to do a free play segment myself called Bianco's Bullseye. I don't think I've lost one of these yet on the show, so a couple of pushes. But I'm going to look at a game that's being played today. This game goes at, I believe it's 1:15 today in La Liga action, Barcelona and Eibar. This is a system play for me, and it's actually one of my client plays today up at WagerTalk.com. Since the start of the new seasons back in on September the 18th, I've released about 94 of these system plays, and they have gone, they've hit at a 65.5% clip, 69.8% since November 1st with soccer totals 37, 16, and 8. This is over 3 on this one, minus 115. My metric expectancy for this came back at just under 4.5 goals at, I think it was 4.46. So it's an auto play for me. If it was any higher and the line stayed firm at 3, this would probably be a 5% play for me. But I know that I'm expecting this line to hit 3.25 by game time. So that is your play. I'm not going to go more into it because it is a system play based solely on numbers. So Barcelona and Eibar over 3 goals, minus 115 as your bullseye play for today. This game goes at 1:15 Eastern time in La Liga action. All right, guys, we are going to head to the final game that we're covering. This is one I tossed in at the end. French side Lille, currently sitting top of the standings in Ligue 1, which usually is reserved to PSG, but they share it with Lyon, with PSG right behind them. And Ajax, who, as we know, crashed out of Champions League on match day 6, losing at home to Atalanta 1-0. They don't want to be in this competition, but unfortunately they are. I don't see I don't see Ajax as a slam dunk, Kev, here. I know they're minus 275 to advance. Lille are plus 200. It just seems like this year when they've gone up against teams outside of the Eredivisie, where they're just beating up on everybody, that they just haven't had their normal Ajax of a couple years past where they played extremely well. Can you convince me otherwise?
Not particularly, no, because I'd agree with you. Now, I have to be careful because I've been sucked in by French teams before, only to be bitterly disappointed, in the case of Rennes, for instance. But, Lille look good. They've lost just 1 game all year in the French league, and they look really good. And, I think with, a guy like Jonathan Bamba, they got one of the most high-performing midfielders in the country right now, possibly in Europe. So, this could very well be a banana skin for Ajax here, especially as you said, they don't want to be here. This is a Manchester United thing where they're probably see themselves as too big for the Europa League here. This is a step out there for Lille, the only team that they didn't register a win against. They got that fantastic 3-0 win against AC Milan, for instance, in the Europa League group. For some reason, they couldn't beat Celtic. Don't understand that at all, because Celtic were the worst team in that group. But for me, this is a tie where instead of looking at an outright, I'll probably look game to game. And I very well might end up on Lille, possibly at home catching some quarter goal, half a goal head start, whatever it may be. But yeah, I'd agree with you in terms of this is a tricky tie for Ajax.
All right, Pavlos, before we wrap it up, I know you have a love for these French sides as well too. Tell me, can Lille pull off the upset here, or is this Ajax all the way?
Yeah, I definitely think that they can pull the upset. And looking at the odds, they went up to plus 200 for Lille to qualify, and it's a really good spot here. Ajax have not been, the team that they were like a couple of seasons ago. They usually sell off most of their talented players. Who knows? Maybe they sell even more of their players in the January transfer window. So Lille, they didn't do very well defensively in the Europa League. They've only kept one clean sheet in 6 matches. Oddly enough, it was against Milan. So they might not have an easy job in the first leg. However, there is also the thing that they're sitting at the top of the Ligue 1 this season in France. So this could complicate things because the player and the players and the manager, they're going to be split between should we do well in the Ligue 1 and try to win the title, but there's always PSG behind us and Lyon, or do we have to make a good run in the Europa League? I don't think they'll do great in both. The more realistic scenario right now is to do well in the Europa League. So yeah, I think that the odds are just out of place. I think since the price is going up, it means that people believe in Ajax more. So yeah, I think I'll go the other way and go with Lille here.
All right, and and going in price. Listen, I don't want to lay 275, but this is more about price than anything else. If you told me that I could get Ajax at say minus 165, minus 175, I would take them. Because it becomes a one of those things of, if these teams played 5 times, would over 2 legs, would Ajax win 4 of the 5 times? I believe they would, but
No.
this is why I want odds of under 2 to 1 as far as that goes. Before I finish this off with a promo, I just want to answer a couple of questions in the chat. We have an upcoming hockey video. Andrew, myself, and Kelly will be filming today. NHL season's right around the corner. I'm looking forward to it. The last 2-3 years at WagerTalk have been winning years for me, including picking the Stanley Cup winner in January. I told people to bet St. Louis 2 years ago. I told people to bet Tampa Bay when they were struggling last year, and you can get them at 9 to 1. So I am going to we're going to put together a video. It'll be up on WagerTalk in the next couple days on how to tackle NHL betting with the new format that they have and a 56 game schedule. With that said, guys, I want to thank you guys in chat. Again, Kevin Dolan is the feature capper on this show, guys. So pick up 30 days of Kevin's all access for only $199. You get $150 off when you use Kev30 at checkout. And as I stated before, guys, Kev does pretty much everything at WagerTalk. So NCAA football, 17 bowl games coming up, soccer across all the leagues, boxing, NFL playoffs, NBA, CBB, rugby. The only thing the guy doesn't do is curling, and maybe we can get him to do that as well too. But the guy's on an insane roll. You can lock up all of his plays for 30 days for only $199. So head over to WagerTalk.com, click on that 30-day all access, use Kev30 at checkout, and get that. Once again, guys, thanks for tuning in, and good luck with your wagers. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.